Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is your girl, Miss Honey. I am so super surprised I was able to pull that off because I am definitely under the weather. I'm coming up a little bit, so yeah, grateful. You guys already know what this is. I am here for my review for Power Book 2 Ghost. This is season 2 that we're in now. Episode 4, Getting These Ends. Of course, no sooner said I said how much I was enjoying the show, that I thought it was fairly good. So far, that's all shot to heck with this episode, Getting These Ends. I mean, oh my gosh. It's so, like, I just want them to at least try just a little bit, to follow the law, like all of these magical things that are happening just out of the blue. Um yeah, I mean, at least look like something has happened. I mean, we had lawyers, we had hearings in Power, we had court cases, we had conversations down at the DA's office between multiple individuals, and we had all of these things. Now we just have a rogue detective and another DA that's hot in the puss, and that's pretty much all we have. Oh, and we also have Jamal Tate, who apparently, as lead investigator or special investigator for the DA office, runs the DA office. Basically, he's holding everyone accountable. I was like, where's y'all boss? Like, what? I mean, if we just bringing in special detectives to run the ish, it's fine, whatever. Let's jump right into it. This whole episode was really about the Tejadas, which I saw a Instagram post from Woody McClain, the guy who plays Kane, the actor, and he said, oh, it's time for the Tejadas to activate. This was like Friday or Saturday before the episode dropped. So I knew something was going on. I thought it would involve more of Lorenzo Tejada, but still it was Tejada heavy, right? We didn't get a lot from Tariq. We got enough, but it wasn't all about Tariq and his shenanigans, right? So let's get into this whole situation. Monet is dressed to the nines, couture down, but she's still gully, right? The scene opens with Milgram standing in what appears to be a dark wooded area by herself, black car, black clothing. And the owls are hooting. It's dark. I'm talking about like dark. She's got a coat on, so it's cold and dark, and the owls are hoo. They're nowhere near the city because the hoo is carrying a little bit. I was like, why is she out in the middle of the night like this by herself? Like, and she's calling out for Zeke. Zeke, is that you, Zeke? Oh, Zeke, could that be you, Zeke? I was like, Zeke need a nightlight. Zeke need a nightlight. Why would he be out here at old dog 30 without a nightlight, boo? You know what I'm saying? In a onesie. Zeke sleep in a onesie and he sleep with a nightlight on. Come on. Anywho, she decides to get back in the car after she done text Zeke and said, Zeke, where are you? And then she gets another text that says, oh, I'll be there in a moment. She's sitting in her car, and then her back rear passenger window gets burst out. And just like that, Monet Tejada's in the back of her car, and she's got a gun to her head. Please please don't kill me, please. Oh, didn't I tell you to stay away from my nephew? Didn't I tell you to do that? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She basically says, were you with my nephew? Yes, I was with your nephew. And I told the people that I was with your nephew, but your nephew lied and said he wasn't with me. And that's why all this is happening. She says, you're the reason why all of this is happening. And I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go out there and you're going to find the real killer and you're going to get my nephew off. Okay, that's exactly how we're going to handle this. We're going to leave it to the sex addict teacher to clear your nephew's name. That's exactly what we're going to do. She gets out, and leaves. And then she learns from Davis after she talks to Davis Monet that it's going to cost her $1 million to get him on as a lawyer for Zeke. Now, Zeke has not been charged. Except in the court of public opinion. Zeke has not been charged. Zeke has not been brought into custody. As far as we know, they haven't even run Zeke's phone records, right? They haven't even pulled up the towers that Zeke's phone may have been pinging off of that day. They do have a video that Kamal Tate was able to pull up from a bodega where he was in there buying his condoms and what's not and KY jellies and things. Okay, prophylactics. I got magnums. Let me stop before I start coughing. Magnums. Okay. They do have that. But so what? So what? If he wasn't there to kill Jabari, this is what they're saying down at the DA's office. Detective A-Hole is saying, they're saying, well, if he didn't kill Jabari, then he paid somebody to do it for him. Now, okay. That's fine. I mean, y'all could have just given him a simple aptitude test and you would have known that was not possible. But let's do this the hard way, okay? Meanwhile, like I said, she learns it's going to cost $1 million to hire Davis on. He don't do nothing without money. She goes down to the bar and is going to get the $1 million out the safe, but the money is poof, gone. Right? No money, nowhere to be found. So what does she do? Dressed in couture, 6-inch heels. Okay. She goes down and takes the ear of the man that put the security windows in the bar last week. Takes his ear off, got her foot on his head. His mouth is all bloody. So she's mollywopped him. You know what I'm saying? Nails, jewelry, couture, 6-inch boots, all of that. She's a bad mama jamma, right? She is a bad mama jamma. Now, all of this is, we coming up on all of this happening. When she jumped in the back of Milgram's car, it happened in 2.2 seconds. All we saw was her sit down. We saw the glass break and then we saw her sit down. We don't see no actual stunts being done by Mary J. Blige, but don't even worry about that. Don't pick at those scabs. We come up on her with this man's ear in front of him, a bloody mouth, his head on the ground, her boot on his head, and a gun pointed at his head. Where is my money? Where is my money? You got my money, man? You got my money, man. Okay? I don't have your money, but I can get your money. I thought you said you didn't have my money. I don't have your money, so you don't have my money? No, I don't have your money. Kaploo! She blows him away. Kills him right there. No splatter. The couture looks good. She ain't got to worry about getting rid of no clothes, them shoes, nothing, baby. She is spotless. But then she holds a round table with all her little birdies, right? She's the mama bird, right? Okay. All the stuff she been filling Diana's mouth with doesn't work because Diana's the one that took the $1 million out of the safe. She took the $1 million out of the safe to give to Davis to get her daddy off. Now, why she got to give this man $1 million to get your daddy off if he told you to your face it was no chance in heck that your daddy could get off? Why would he have $1 million being held in lieu there? Why? Why is he holding $1 million? Just because? Okay, whatever. So Diana's the one that took the money. Okay. Zeke is like, I don't want y'all to have to go through all of this with me. Shut up, Zeke. Be quiet. Anybody got Zeke snacks? Huh? Anybody got any dry Cheerios and carrot sticks and peanut butter? And a cup of milk for Zeke so he can be quiet, so he can busy himself. Somebody put Zeke's Baby Shark show on so he can be quiet. Get out of this, Zeke, please. Kane, she lets Kane and Drew and Diana know, Zeke, you don't have to do anything, okay, but just make sure that you have your you have a clean pamper on, okay? Everybody else got to find a way to get this money up. And they all go about their way to get this money up. Now, Drew can't leave the house. He got to keep an eye on Zeke. He's got to babysit Zeke, right? Because he don't want Zeke running around there sticking his fingers in and out of electrical sockets or choking himself with a little plastic wrap, or you know what I'm saying? Stuff kids get into, you know what I'm saying, when they not being monitored. But they all go their separate ways. Kane goes and talks to Mecca and lets Mecca know he needs to make a little extra money. Mecca says, I got a guy that I need roughed up and beat down, and all of the money that he has on his person at that time, bring it to me and I'll break you off some of that, okay? But I don't want this guy to survive, and I want to make it clear that, this is a hit. Think you can handle it? Kane was like, yeah, no problem. That's my middle name. I don't know if you know or not, but my name is Kane Bulldog Tejada. Okay, I do it rough, right? No problem at all. All right. Drew, who is supposed to be watching Zeke, is at home and he is sulking, and Zeke is sulking too. He is, repeating the same, man, I didn't do this. This isn't right. I shouldn't be blamed for this kind of stuff. This ain't right. And Drew was like, are you serious? Meanwhile, Diana done went down and got Effie. Now, all of these sudden, Effie and Diana are thick as thieves. I didn't even realize it was Effie at first until they got into like the second or third part of their conversation. They doing credit card scams. So basically what they doing is buying high-end clothes with bad credit cards or fake credit cards, and then taking those high-end clothes and either returning them somewhere else or selling them to somebody. They boosting basically through this credit card scam. And they get to talking about the fact that Diana's a virgin, and that they families and all of these different things about how to get money, and your mama don't know, your mama let you out the house. I mean, she know a lot about your mama, Diana. I don't know. It seems odd, but it's fine, whatever. And how your mama handle you and what's not. Okay, it's okay. It's all right. So Drew gets this idea. He texting back and forth with his lover boy down at the college. The one that like him sometimes but don't like him other times, but sometimes he do like him. And he has come up with this idea. How desperate are you all to get Zeke back? I mean, how far are you all willing to go to get Zeke's name out of the papers and clear his name? And they've decided that they're going to do a GoFundMe and a protest, right? And he goes down and leaves Zeke. Leave Zeke, right? No, he cannot be left alone, okay? Leaves Zeke, goes down and screws the guy. I mean, I don't even understand why we needed these scenes. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand. I could see if it was applicable, but it just wasn't. Okay. So anyway, he goes down and, they have sex, and then after they have sex or whatnot, the guy tells him, post orgasm, the truth seems to well up into people's spirits. And so he tells him how last year or last season, when he mollywopped the guy, the GTG guy that pulled a gun on him, and all of that washed out. Then when the police talked to him later his lover, Drew's lover, and ask him about the whole thing that went down, with this attack and this assault. What do you know about the situation and how does it pertain to the GTG gang? He told everything that he knew and also put Drew's name in it. What? We forgot about that. Okay, all right. Still didn't need a sex scene to find that out, but that's fine. So, Drew is like upset. You could have told me that. And he storms out. On his way back down to the house, Zeke is outside. I mean, this is what happened. You would leave Zeke alone. He's outside in the public eye. And there is one lone reporter there asking questions outside the gate, hollering at Zeke. And Zeke is standing there like he is asking him what 5 times 5 is, or 25 times 25. What's 50 minus 2? And Zeke is like, I don't know my cousin. And Drew is like, hey, buddy, you get away from here. And Zeke is like, don't worry. It's okay. It's going to be all right. Just calm down. And the guy is like, hey, what about the Tejada guy? And you're in jail. Does it have anything to do with drugs? And Drew hauls off and bursts him in the face with the arm and the shoulder that was shot at. Now, he cannot draw. He cannot shoot a gun, right? But he can swing a mean punch. Punches the guy down and gives him another mollywop. Knocks the guy out. Still coming across as a can of cream corn to me. All you had to do is go inside your own friggin' gate, collect your small child off the front porch, and usher him on inside. No, you didn't have to say anything at all. You didn't have to do anything at all, right? It's okay. It's all right. So yeah, that one thing leads to another. I mean, this guy's going to sue. Not only is he a reporter, but he's also works as a part of this media company that employs Jemele Hill. And so they're going to drop the whole thing and forget about the whole kit and caboodle if Zeke will give an interview to Jemele Hill. Davis is the one that brought this offer to the table because even though he hasn't gotten his money, he's still willing to be a part of this case. I mean, it is, he's got fancy cars to buy, so, yeah, this is what it is. This is all it can be. He's going to have to testify to do this interview to make this thing go away. Again, he has not been charged. He hasn't been charged with any crime whatsoever. Like, any information that's out there right now about anything that has to do with this case could possibly get thrown out in a court, because where are you going to find a jury that hasn't listened to this interview? Like, it's what lawyer? I mean, it's just so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave that to Badu and Paris and all my lovely people down below to just mull over for yourselves. Let's talk about it down below. Anywho, they only come up with like, $250. They still need $300,000. Basically, they come up with $250 because they need $750, right? And so $750,000 more. And so yeah, even after Kane goes and shoots the guy up and takes the guy's money, which, by the way, he's grooming Brayden nicely, because he's talked Brayden into going and driving while he does this hit. Essentially, Brayden's car gets shot up, but Brayden's excited. This is his adrenaline rush, right? I mean, they don't have anything like this up on the hill. This is exciting. I'm a criminal now. It's fun, right? And they need more money. They need more money. But first, we have to bring Tariq in. Tariq is going to help groom Zeke, not the entire staff that Davis has on books, right? They're going to bring Tariq in to help Zeke prepare for an interview with Jamel Hill, a skilled interviewer, right? Okay, they're going to bring Tariq in to prep uh Zeke. I know, geez, this is why we're paying Davis $1 million. Mind you, Tariq is got his hands full. He's completely got his hands full. He's still imploring Davis to help Zeke no matter what. He says Monet will pay you. Trust me, she will pay you. Okay. And I got it on good authority that the gun they found that killed Jabari belonged to a cop named Ramirez. Well, how do you know this? I know a lot of stuff. I'm just saying. Now, he says all of this in front of Stacks. I'm not sure why you would do that, considering Stacks is the one that tried to frame you. And we already know the limits that Stacks will go to in order to get what he's got to do done. So why you would be talking any business in front of Stacks, I don't get it. I don't get it. The person that actually has what do you call that when lawyers are bound? That's Davis, not Stacks, right? Stacks belongs to the agency, but still, it's just ridiculous. Anywho, so someone told Jamel as well. So Zeke is sitting there, right? And he looks good. And the rest of them are sitting in the green room, Kane, Davis, and Monet. I think Drew was there as well, but I'm not sure. And Zeke does pretty good. Jamel throws a couple of curveballs. He is like, He didn't go R. Kelly. He didn't go full R. Kelly, although I was expecting tears. We did not get tears. We just got an angry temper tantrum, right? And he's got like a permanent resting pout, like on his face, like all the time. He's like, this ain't right. This is not fair. I just want to play ball. I just want to play ball. Snatches his mic off and storms out, right? When Ramirez names comes up, Kane is cracking his neck because he knows his mama is going to let him have it. He tries to leave, sneak off, but she stops him. And she was like, where you going? Where you going? Okay. And hops in the car. No, well, she didn't hop in the car. She said, meet me down here at the park, right? And they go meet and they talk. And she was like, I need you to tell me everything. He tells her everything, including Tariq's part. This what you gonna do. You, after she slapped him across the face, I'm talking about she slapped him across the snout. Check out. Ooh, I know it was just ringing. Ooh, his jaw bells was ringing. And he just kind of shakes it off a little bit. He want a socker in the gut, but this his mama, right? He gonna take that slap to the snout. But remember, like all dogs, vicious dogs that we have raised to be vicious, okay? They ain't gonna take too many more of them snaps, okay? They ain't gonna take too many more of them before they reach out, okay, and grab your entire throat area out. So bide your time, Monet. Bide your time with these slaps. He tell her that he hopes she had the same venom for Tariq. You worry about me and Tariq. You let me worry about talking to Tariq. What you gonna do is go and dig Ramirez's body up and let them doggone forensic people see that he was dead a day before Jabari was killed. before Jabari was killed, okay? And then find somebody to frame for it. Now, she didn't tell him that. She just told him to dig the body up. When he called Mecca on his way down to meet Monet, Mecca said, he told Mecca he got to get out of town. He can't stay. He's got to leave. And Mecca says, well, I don't know what you got going on, but you need to find somebody to take your place, to take the blame for it instead of you. So when Monet tells him to dig the body up, that's what he does. Not by himself, of course not. He's grooming Brayden to be his whipping post, to be his pet, if you will, his do boy, if you will. And he takes Brayden down to the grave site, which is like 4, maybe 5 steps from where Milgram was standing. I'm almost sure of it. Okay. Yeah. And they dig the body up. Just kind of leave it there on top of the ground. Just like casually leave it there. It's crazy. It's just crazy. The whole thing is crazy. Monet going down to the jailhouse to ask Lorenzo Tejada if she could put the house up for to get the money to pay Davis, and he tells her no. Use the money that's in the safe. She's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I was like, y'all supposed, okay. It's fine. Let's talk about Tariq, and then we'll get back to what happened after Kane dug the body up. Tariq is really going through it. He's got to keep this whole situation going with the Tejadas, trying to help them out with Zeke in order to stay in school. He is still going to class, and they talking about one thing or another. Tate has been brought on as the liaison between the college and the police department, which is how his brother Jamal got to be the special investigator down at DA Detective A-Hole's job, right? All of Detective A-Hole's work that he's put in basically to try to frame Zeke. No matter what evidence shows, he's going to frame Zeke. Jamal is coming against it, right? But at the same time, he's working with his brother Tate now, who's the college liaison, to find out what the connection is to Jabari's death and Detective Ramirez, okay, and the college students, okay. So thanks to Milgram, okay, who after having a gun put to her head, tells Simon, the dean of the college, Tate, and Detective A-Hole that the GTG gang had something to do with it, and she thinks it has something to do with drugs because Jabari was looking into the drug component of the attack on last year, the body that was found in the pool. And so that prompts the dean to do a low-key sweep of all of the dorms. Now, remember, Rashonda had put not only a blunt, but she had also put pills in a packet, the same packet that Tariq and Brayden used to sell their product with the emblem on the back. And of course, they did a sweep of all the dorms, so they found a lot of these little packets. And they realized there's a drug cartel kind of running on the campus. And since they had Lauren, of all people, they bring Lauren in to find out what's going on. Lauren's like, I'm no snitch. And Jamal just can't get anything out of her. Those aren't my drugs. I don't know what you're talking about, which I can definitely see that Lauren has a case. I mean, people walk in and out of doors around here on this show. They don't even knock. I mean, Monet is a drug queen pin, and Davis and Tariq walk right in the house. Just walk right in the house. Just open the door and walk right in. Everybody was just sitting around like, hey, what are we doing? Like, what are we working on? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So yeah, anybody could have planted those drugs. She definitely didn't have to talk with them at all. But Thank you, Milgram, for not only getting the dorm secretly rated, but also thank you so much for talking Lauren into wearing a wire. And she sits down and tells her how your whole entire future is going to be ruined, Lauren, if you don't help them find who's dealing these drugs. Don't think about your future. Don't you want a future? The car you drive, where you live. I mean, your entire future, right? All she's thinking about is herself. When she gave Zeke as an alibi, all she was thinking about herself. Now, you done took enough of his peen to know that the blood don't run to his head. It's just from here down. So why would you even throw him in the loop to have any type of conversation? Why? Anyway. Now you're going to throw Lauren under the bus. Okay? And it's just ridiculous. Lauren is given a Rolex, a fake Rolex to wear, and it's a wire. And she's going to go around and talk to multiple people and find out where these drugs are. Now, mind you, her and Tariq are together now. They're holding hands, walking to class, all of that. He's not as sharp as he should be because he doesn't know that Brayden is being groomed by Kane. Kate is in that dorm room more than Tariq is. He doesn't notice what's going on with Lauren at all because he's working very, very hard to get Yaz. And Yaz is calling him on this phone that she's only supposed to use for emergencies to tell him that she's ready to come home and that he needs to bring her some scratchers. She needs some scratch offs for the bodega, right? He goes and pulls up the record on the bodega after talking to the guy who is over Yaz and his granny, Warren. He's over that estate, he's her conservator. That's what it is, of the estate that Ghost left Granny and Yaz. And so, you're going to help me get custody of my sister, right? Goes and pulls up the video after he does that. And the video shows Granny buying like 3 or 4 24 packs of beer. Like, I was like, Granny, that is a recipe for a big gut. You got to stick to your white liquors, honey, if you want to keep that gut down, right? You got to lay off that wine. You definitely got to lay off that yeast. But I digress. You also see Yaz come in like, Granny, can we go? Granny, I'm tired of waiting. She come in and we see where Granny shakes her and pushes her down hard to the ground. Okay. This is what Tariq is preoccupied with. So this makes him rev up that much more to try to get Yaz from Granny, get custody of Yaz from Granny. Granny gets wind of this because she's gotten a letter and she's come down there in a drunken stupor to the dorm. And she is cussing and fussing. And she also, outside of being belligerent, she makes herself a little bit of a liability because she calls him a thug and a career criminal like his dad. And, kind of implies that she's going to go through any means to keep Yaz and fight him in court, which is probably means telling his business, telling his family's business, which therefore makes her a liability, right? But hey, she's in a drunken stupor. It sounded good and she did a great job storming in and storming out. So yeah, I mean, it is a whole mess. Okay, so we've got all of these moving players. People are getting promoted and moved around in order to figure out what happened to Jabari. Like, everyone cares about Jabari, right? They found Reynolds' body, of course, and they found his ID. So they know that it's him. They know he's been dead a couple of weeks. And things of this nature. They don't find his badge. And the reason why they don't find his badge is because Kane has his badge. And so after they do with the body, dig the body up and leave it conveniently just outside of the grave site, like whatever. And he takes the bag. They go back to the dorm. Like I said, Kane is in Tariq and Brayden's dorm room more than Tariq and Brayden is, right? And Brayden is in the bathroom throwing up. You know, he's still gangster, but he's up chucking. And Tariq takes the badge and puts it in, Kane takes the badge and puts it in Tariq's drawer and just covers it with a book, a piece of tissue paper, basically. Like, I mean, it's probably going to smell like decay. I mean, I just don't, okay, whatever. And that's actually how the episode ended. But let's go back to Monet before we say adieu, right? Monet goes to see Mecca because even though they needed $750,000 more, Mecca just came in like a knight in shining armor, and he basically paid Davis the bill for Davis, and finds that you know, Monet is grateful, but she's trepidatious. He also, she's just like, why would you do that? You know, why do you, it's no coincidence that you came back. It's no, she glad he did it. She ain't saying, I'm rejecting your money. I don't take your money. She's saying, what gives? Like, why are you, coincidentally here in a time such as this and all this, that, and the other. And he is just like, listen, I told you I was trying to be a better man. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was your man, you wouldn't be going through none of this. If I was your man, okay, you wouldn't have to worry about none of this, okay? You could chillax and do you, okay? And also, I could be a daddy to my son. She took a deep breath. She said, I'm sorry, I didn't know how to tell you. He was like, it's no problem. It's no problem at all. But I'm here now. And I want to be a daddy to my son. And I want to be a husband to you. Right? I was like, oh, she just got him, one drop dead and two show up. I said, you better go on, Monet, and do your thing, child. You know how to pull the boys. Now, doesn't matter that all the boys are crooked and murderous and killers. Irrelevant, right? You still know how to pull the boys, sis. We're going to give you your credit, okay? It's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. So Kane, now he didn't say Kane's name. We're assuming Kane, but listen, Kane is the oldest, but how we know it's not Drew? I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know how old Drew is, but I don't know. It's Kane. I know it's Kane, but I wanted to be Drew so bad. I just want Drew. I'm not a fan of Drew. Drew just makes everything worse. I digress. It's Kane, I guess. Fine. That's whatever. We don't have to make this intricate. They're not making it intricate. Why should we make it intricate? Yeah. This is a whole mess. Brayden is out here robbing. You go to a shootout, you go to an execution basically, and you're the driver. Then they go and rob a jewelry store. Okay. Kane got a mask on, but Brayden is robbing the jewelry store with no mask on whatsoever. Brayden is the one that's going to end up being charged for Ramirez's death. I mean, for Jabari and probably Ramirez. Probably. This is all going to fall on Brayden at some point, in my opinion, which is going to lead Brayden to do what? Yeah. Snitch on Tariq. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is happening. There's no video of Tariq robbing stores. Right? He does have some key information, but he's still going to class. He out here trying to fight for his right to party with Yaz. So this episode, it was so rushed, and it's just like, I don't know why it's so rushed. It's just, to me, it's insulting some of the things they're doing legally, just like not paying attention to it. And, this whole thing with Zeke, like, it's so nonsensical. You have to have a special investigator come in and tell you that you need to be looking into Ramirez a little bit more, when he disappeared, all of this stuff. Like, it's ridiculous. You guys tell me what you think about this episode. Like I said, I started having issues. This is what I had an issue with reality TV. I started having issues about um just being made a fool of. I don't really care for that. I don't care for that at all. If you know, if we're gonna do this, let's try to do this at least halfway right. The way they're doing this Zeke thing is just it's so ridiculous. I mean, it's like a high schooler wrote this episode. Like, it was so rushed. Y'all tell me what y'all think of this episode. Y'all put it down below. What do you think is going to happen? Who's going to be our collateral damage? Is it going to be Brayden? I'd love for it to be Drew. I don't think he really adds anything to this situation. My money's still on Lorenzo. But yeah, it could be Lauren or Brayden. It could be Milgram at this point. Milgram can be collateral damage. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll holler.